Hey everybody, Angelo back again here giving commentary on my fight. Fight starting right now, doing my little Anderson Silva shimmy. Fought Johnny Lozano out of LA Boxing and MMA, Titans Cage in Elk Grove. Fight's about to start. I'm kind of getting the nerves out at this point. I actually came pretty confident. There's Lozano, always confident. And yep, this was a pretty good fight on my part. Here to give you commentary, what I was thinking throughout the fight and what I was trying to accomplish, so I can give everybody a sense of what it's like to be in there and how strategy works and tactics work. So I signal over to touch gloves. He agrees. There's Killer B, always the showman with his black belt. And here we go. We touch gloves, and I'm about to set up a left liver kick. I land it, and then I charge forward a little too much, and we end up clinching. We start off in the cage, and I notice Lozano is really, really strong. And he's trying to leg trip me, and I'm basically stuck in there because he's kind of grabbing my arms. But we start moving from the clinch, and there he pushes me up against the fence. He's very strong. I'll give him credit. He's going for a hip throw, but he can't get it. He's got double unders right now, but he lets one go, and I start working my underhook. And I'm going to get my head under. He's trying to pummel out. I get through, and here I am. I start raining bombs down. Most of them are coming down the pipe. Some are kind of wild, but I start leveling down, and I tag him a few times, but that was the strategy. I was going to try and press him up against the cage and keep the fight. I'm throwing body shots because he's trying to tie clinch me. And there he goes for a guillotine. Now this guy's really strong, but he doesn't have it. I start moving to the side there to prevent the guillotine. See how I move my body toward his right side, so that way the guillotine isn't sunk in. So he's strong, but he's not really able to sink it. And he throws a knee. I was going to try and grab it for a takedown, but he's just stalling at this point. I'm not squared up with him. If I had moved more to my right, he would have it, but I stayed to the left to prevent the guillotine choke. And at this point, we're just cage battling. I'm looking for the takedown. He's doing a pretty good job at defending it. But no, he's just basically just holding on to me, hoping for a guillotine. He's not really working it at this point. I'm landing some shots to stay busy. I give the ref the thumbs up there, let him know I'm okay. Nothing's really going on. I'm never really worried at this point because he doesn't have it. See, I take my left hand right there, I press it up against him, and I slip out right here. See, he's starting to break it, and in a second here, I'm going to slip out and start raining more bombs. And that's the first round. First round, easy first round for me. Landed more strikes, controlled the clinch work, and I let him basically blow his arms out. And of course, in my corner is Keto Andrews and Freddie Quintanilla. At this point, he's basically telling me to put him up against the cage and use more strikes, come out and use more strikes, and to separate when we get into the grappling. Basically, when you're in your corner, you only have a minute. It goes by fast, so you need to pay attention and listen because they're looking at things you can't see. Started the second round. I'm still pretty good shape. I'm not really blown out yet. We touch gloves again, and at this point, I'm trying to move around, stay busy. He throws a front kick, but he can't reach me. Throw another kick, and he lands a good left and a right there. We start exchanging, and I push forward again because I want him up against the cage. I wasn't trying to clinch up, but I did want him up against the cage. And see, look, I start landing more shots, left, rights. A good 1-2 right there. He lands a couple of strikes. And at this point, it's more cage work. I wasn't planning on doing a lot of cage work, but that's basically what ended up happening in this fight. I'm throwing more bombs over the top. He doesn't like getting hit. I'm trying to sweep out. See, look, I separate there. He hits me. And look, he clinches up with me again. I'm pummeling my underhook right there. Landing some shots. His knee's up. I probably should have went for a takedown when his knee went up, but he pummels out. So he knows what he's doing, but at this point, he's a little overmatched since I'm up against the cage. He lands a knee. I land a good shot there. A little bit more body shots. We're still pummeling, battling on the pummeling. He gets me under the cage here, and he's got double unders. I push his head down, and bam, I get his arm up. And then I lose my legs. The key to that right there was I used my legs to get out of there. And you need to do that when you're up against the cage. Look, I land more shots, 3, 4, 5. He throws pretty weak shots at this point. He's worn out. But I'm controlling him. up against the cage using my legs. See how all of it is in my legs. Knee to his legs, trying to control him, controlling his right arm. I've got my head pressed up against the fence, as you can see. And he tries for a hip throw there, but he didn't really have it. I just kind of moved into it. And landing more shots. He lands a knee. I'm trying to get out of there, but he's really strong. He's got the whizzer on my right arm. He lets it go, but he's really, really strong at this point. And that's the second round. Another easy round for me. He's really clinching up, and at this point, my corner is asking me how I'm doing, how I'm feeling. At this point, my legs are a little tired because I had to use a lot of my leg strength to push him off the cage. And yeah, so third round, I'm very, very confident that that I'm going to win because I've got the first 2 rounds. We touched gloves. No, it's been a good fight so far. I'm going to throw a kick. Well, not even a kick attempt. He lands a nice little Superman punch, a little grazing blow, but then once again he clinches up. And he tries to play fence games with me, but they're not really working. I've got the whizzer on the right, and he tries for a takedown, and he just doesn't have it. And look, I just use my legs, use the whizzer, turn him right back around. Knee to the body there. Notice how I'm keeping my head near his neck or his chin to put pressure. More body shots. He tries to clinch knee me, but he doesn't really have it. They're not really doing much. He throws like a hammer fist. Probably wasn't training too well in the clinch. And he's trying to land some body shots to get some points here. But then, see, look, once again, I'm using my legs to push him off against the fence, landing some shots, putting pressure. I've got my head down in there. He lands a decent body shot there with his knee. But yeah, most of the fight, as you can see, was spent in the clinch up against the cage with me pushing. Referee stops the action because there's not much going on. Touch gloves as a sign of respect. And look, lands another right. And he lands a couple shots. I land a few more. And then bam, he grabs me again. And we're back in the clinch. And right here, I use my legs to push him back up against the fence because I know he's tired. And at this point, I've got the fight won. He's not allowing me to strike. He's clinching up, so he wants to clinch up. So we're going to keep clinching up. And right here, he's going to jump for a guillotine. That's not even sunk in. I basically just push off. Watch. I just slip out, and I start landing a few shots. His guard is wide open. He's up against the fence. I've got it in the bag. Landing a few more shots. Not much time left. Pressing him up. No real threat to a submission. He punches my leg there, and that's the end of the fight. So there you have it. Really nice cage work done. Decent striking I got in. I'm really proud of myself for keeping myself composed, both in the striking and in the clinch phase. First victory. Props to Johnny Lozano for hanging in there. Tough guy, debut fighter. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching.